Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan. And if you love Bethesda and you're not a subscriber yet to the KingFanMan channel, why not? I talk about Bethesda all the time on this channel. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell too, so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Today we're going to continue our series of looking at the real places in West Virginia that Bethesda used in the game Fallout 76. Today we go to a really neat place. It is the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, also known as the Green Bank Observatory. Located in the very quiet community of Green Bank, West Virginia, is a modern marvel of science and a true achievement of engineering. In this town that has less than 200 residents, there stands the world's largest fully steerable radio telescope, appropriately called the Green Bank Telescope. Just how big is this behemoth? It stands 60% taller than the Statue of Liberty, with a surface area of over 102,000 square feet, or 2.34 acres. To put that in perspective, you could fit a full football stadium inside the dish of the telescope. The entire structure also has a total weight of 7,600 metric tons, or over 17 million pounds. Most of the locals refer to the Green Bank Telescope, or the GBT, as the Great Big Thing, a very fitting name if you ask me. The GBT is actually one of 8 telescopes located at the Green Bank facility, which is also called the NRAO, or the National Radio Astronomy Observatory. The NRAO was founded in 1956 and has grown to over 100 full-time employees in Green Bank today and another 30 part-time employees. Now, this beautiful scenic area in Pocahontas County, West Virginia may seem like a strange place to choose for such a massive science project, but Green Bank was originally chosen because of its sheltered valley location and its distance from any large population centers. You may have already figured it out by its name, but these telescopes aren't looking into space necessarily, they are listening into space. Green Bank's natural mountain bowl helps protect the telescopes from any man-made radio interference, which is obviously harmful to the very sensitive radio astronomy observations. It is absolutely necessary to keep any radio, TV, Wi-Fi, or cell phone signal completely away from the GBT. It is so important that the federal government has decreed Green Bank, West Virginia in the very center of a 13,000 square mile area known as the National Radio Quiet Zone. And the people of Green Bank take this very seriously. Not only do they not have Wi-Fi, no one in Green Bank has a microwave oven. Now that is roughing it. There are even Wi-Fi police, as the locals call them, that make rounds on a daily basis, making sure that there is nothing that will interfere with the telescope's ability to operate. Once inside the facility, the employees can only drive older vehicles with no electronic devices, and they must have diesel motors.
We're a model of a 1970 Checker cab, and we still drive and maintain them today. These cars are preferred because not only are they diesel, that means no spark plugs to have to worry about. They also don't have a lot of fancy onboard electronics, so they certainly don't have power windows and locks and air conditioning, fuel injectors, or any other Bluetooth instruments that might cause extra interference for our instruments. So we do prefer to drive these kind of vehicles once we move past our gate down to the telescopes.
However, it may surprise you that the town of Green Bank, West Virginia does have its own radio station, and it operates at a frequency low enough and at the proper times not to harm the operations of the telescope. It also might surprise you that one of those Wi-Fi policemen actually works at the radio station as well. Oh, by the way, I do hear that they play some very good music. The NRAO's first telescope, called Tittel, was completed in 1959. It is 85 feet tall, but that was just the beginning for the NRAO. In 1962, they completed construction on a 300-foot tall telescope. At the time, it was the largest telescope on Earth, but sadly, this behemoth came crashing down on November 15, 1988, and nothing was left but a huge pile of rubble. They did not stop building, however. In 1965, they built a 140-foot telescope. Again, a total of 8 radio telescopes are located on the Green Bank site. But we are here to talk about the GBT, the Great Big Thing. Construction began on the GBT in 1991, and it was no small undertaking. It took over 10 years to complete at a cost of $95 million. It began regular science operations in the summer of 2001, just after construction was completed. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the astounding accomplishment of the designers and construction workers in making such a massive, working, fully steerable telescope. There is literally nothing like it in the world. As I said earlier, it is the largest steerable telescope in the world. It is used for astronomy about 6,500 hours every year, with about 3,000 hours per year going to high-frequency science. What does that mean in layman's terms? The telescope splits its time mapping the galaxy with its sound waves and listening for any unusual alien activity. Since it began its operations, the GBT has made many discoveries. In 2002, it detected 3 pulsars in the globular cluster of Messier. In 2006, several discoveries were announced, including a large coil-shaped magnetic field in the Orion molecular cloud. It also detected a large hydrogen gas superbubble 23,000 light-years away. Now, since 2006, numerous discoveries have been made, including the most massive neutron star detected so far. Also, a cloud of primordial gas which surrounds other galaxies. Maybe one of its coolest discoveries was inside a vast molecular cloud surrounding a distant galaxy. It detected complex molecules, one of which was sugar, another which was formaldehyde. Now, as far as aliens go, if they have found anything definitive, they aren't sharing it with the public. And speaking of aliens, within the last few years, the GBT has devoted more and more time to listening for alien contact. In 2016, they began the Breakthrough Listen Project, which is the most comprehensive search for alien communications ever. Now, they're doing it in conjunction with the Parkes Observatory and the Automated Planet Finder. The telescope is sensitive enough to detect Earth-leaking levels of radio transmission from stars within 5 parsecs and can detect a transmitter of the same power as a common aircraft radar from the 1,000th nearest star. On August 30th, 2017, the GBT picked up a series of 15 radio bursts coming from a dwarf galaxy about 3 billion light-years away. Researchers said, although it can't be confirmed, the possibility of the source being extraterrestrial life cannot yet be ruled out. Finally, in 2020, it was reported that in April and May, a narrowband signal at 982.002 MHz was intercepted. The signal appeared to have originated from the direction of Proxima Centauri. It has been given the name the Breakthrough Listen Candidate Number 1. Researchers are still working to rule out terrestrial interference and possibly confirm something extraterrestrial. One researcher called it on par with the WOW signal that was received by the Ohio State University's Big Ear Telescope on August 15, 1977. It received its name, the WOW signal, because when the astronomer Jerry R. Inman saw the anomaly, he circled the reading on the printout and wrote a one-word comment, "Wow," with an exclamation point. Now, in 2016, the Green Bank Observatory separated from the National Science Foundation and no longer receives government funding. It is now a fully independent institution, funded fully from private sources. There is no doubt that the Green Bank's telescope is important to the future of scientific discovery, and there is no telling what they may discover in the years to come. But it is important to more things than that. Even though Green Bank, West Virginia has less than 200 people, the GBT, or the Green Bank Telescope, brings in over 40,000 tourists every year and about $29 million into the local economy of the town and Pocahontas County. So you see, it's not only important to science, it's important to the people of Green Bank, the people of West Virginia, and even the people of the whole world.